Hello everyone and welcome along to another episode of SnowRunner. You join me here in the ANK for a bit of a change, and we're loaded up with some metal beams that we've just picked up from Black River because although you can get them from Smithville Dam, I didn't feel like doing the huge round trip that it would take to go and get them, so I just nipped down to Black River to pick them up from the town. It seemed closer, but let me first of all set it to the morning so that we have a longer daytime. Because nighttime's very pretty, but very hard to see. But we're taking this to my favourite place. If you've seen the last episode, you'll know that I now have a running hatred for the quarry, but we're heading straight back there. First thing in this episode, which is immediately after the rage-inducing antics of the previous episode. But not to worry, this time we're in the NK with nice big chunky wheels. Shouldn't be much of a hassle at all, but I'm just going to quickly nip into the garage area here because I have this trailer I've purchased just kind of sitting here. It will get sold at some point, but not right this second. If I can get sort of nearby it. This is my mobile fuel station. That makes things a little bit easier starting off with a full tank. So we're going to head down here to the quarry. It's worth noting, I don't think I actually said it in the previous episode, but during all of the crying sessions that I did in the last episode, I did indeed get the bridge fixed at the other side of the dam. Very, 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 very simple task. I can't even remember what the reward is, but it took maybe 30 seconds to do. It was a wooden bridge that requires 2 wooden planks, and those wooden planks are sitting on the trailer like literally 60 yards from the bridge. So probably the easiest job I've ever done because I barely did anything at all. So that's going to make life a little bit easier to get across this map. It would also help if these pedals were not being interfered with by my desk. But we'll head down to the quarry. We'll get these dropped off. Hopefully we remain upright because I'm not sure. I'm recording this episode immediately after the previous episode, or the second part of the previous episode, because I did rage quit halfway through that episode. And I really don't want to be falling over again. It's not on the cards for this episode. Not that it was on the cards for the last one either, but ANK being quite chunky, it's fairly stable, this truck. It's not too tall, and it's just metal beams, so they're not too bad for weight distribution and things like that, so you can ignore that marker up to the right of the screen that's telling me where to get the metal beams, and I've already got them, so I don't need that. Or maybe it's telling me about where to get the concrete slabs. That's entirely possible. Them we do still need. Fortunately, my pockets aren't quite big enough to fit some concrete slabs in them. Looks like there's a stuck vehicle task there, of some description anyway. So here we are at the turn off into the quarry. This in itself is awful, but manageable. Just kind of have to commit and hope that you're at the right angle. And then this time round we're just going to head this way. Just power through that section there because That's another section that you're likely to tip over at. I don't know about this particular stretch of road because I didn't use it in the previous episode. I came around the other way. But it looks fine so far. What a difference a vehicle makes. Because we don't have a very heavy, very top heavy log trailer on board, this is significantly easier. I am just going to carry on round. I'm not going to do any of the tight corners because we know how those go. Very bumpy road. This section of road only has a couple of little sections, but they shouldn't be much of an issue for this truck. This bit's a bit rough. Again, takes it absolutely in its stride, nothing to worry about there whatsoever. The irritating thing is I do have to drive back out of this. That is entirely a thing that I didn't actually consider before taking on the materials order contract, but I'm sure we'll manage just fine as we wreck the suspension. So around there we go, and metal beams delivered. So I'll make my way back out of here, and I'll bring you guys back when we're picking up the concrete slabs. They get picked up from a warehouse that we've actually already driven past. So I don't actually know the way out here, so this will be fun. Okay, just coming across the wooden bridge now. Lovely bit of damage done to the truck in the process, but pulling into this area here where we're going to pick up, I'm sure this is where you get the concrete slabs from. Hopefully they're huge. Awesome. In that case, I am going to need a trailer because I am not doing this in 2 runs, because that's more effort than I'm willing to put in. So I'll just nip next door, purchase a trailer. I'm sure there's trailers lying around somewhere, but I did sell one in the previous episode, the one that the bridge gets repaired with. But there's a trailer store literally right next door. So let's... sure. That could absolutely be a mistake, but just sure. Let's forge our own trail out of the trailer store. This seems fine. Here we are. 2 concrete slabs on board. We can just make this corner. It is probably a bit unnecessarily big to use that trailer, but we will sell it after this contract. I am not a fan of just having trailers laying around, even though I am quite bad for it. It's one thing having a fuel trailer or a service trailer, even the maintenance trailer, but the cargo trailers, I'd rather have specific ones that go on to specific trucks and just stick with those. But in this instance, it's one of those. Convenience wins at the end of the day. So obviously that trailer has quite drastically affected our performance. We're quite slow now, but we do have 2 huge concrete slabs being dragged by this truck. And now what we're going to do is, because we've got the space to do it, is we're going to take a little detour into the farm and pick up the 2 consumables. Now, had I thought about it sooner, I'd have put the concrete slabs on the trailer, went and got the consumables, and came back out and reconnected to the trailer. and that way I wouldn't have to drag it through the mud, but that seems an awful lot like foresight, which I don't have. But let's get up to this farm and get those consumables loaded up and crack on with this contract. Okay, here we are in the farm. I did take the little shortcut through the ditch. Trailer wasn't pleased about it. The truck took a little bit of damage, but it beats sitting in a muddy puddle for the next 15 minutes. We're absolutely flying through this contract. I promise you I'm not intending on racing through this, I just like a little bit of convenience. There we are, 2 consumables loaded onto the trailer. And I'll make my way back out to this farm if I can make it there. And I'll bring you guys back in up at the garage, because we are going to need to stop for more fuel, because we are going to drive through the mud, because I want a pretty picture of the truck and trailer. So I'll see you guys up at the garage. Slowly making our way up the hill towards the garage here. We are starting to run rather low on the old fuel, so we are. This is a very greedy truck with a very small fuel tank. And I am going to make a change. The ANK is in fact going to get sold, and it's going to get sold during this episode. So this will be the final job that it does. But I'm selling it and replacing it in the same episode with something that might seem really weird, but I'm curious. That's really all it is I am just simply curious. But we'll get more onto that after we get rid of all this goods we have on the back. First and foremost, we're going to drop these concrete slabs off at the service hub, and then unfortunately it does mean we're dragging the trailer all the way down to the preacher's house, but that's okay. It's just unfortunately one of those. We do have a truck with a White Star. We can bring it over and reload the goods onto the truck, but that again, it could be done, but it will just take time. And I'm in the mood for efficiency in this one, unfortunately. So here we are, 2 concrete slabs gone. Now the truck is handling very weird, but we'll manage just fine. That was a huge amount of weight we got off, and we didn't even let off the throttle. So now we've got this really long trailer with a load right at the very back of it. I'm sure nothing will go wrong with that. That's exactly how you're meant to load a trailer. And if you're not loading your trailers like this in real life, then you should really sit down and have a conversation with yourself, because I'm just kidding, guys. Don't do this in real life. Load the trailer properly and without all the weight over the back. Even though there is an argument to be made the weight is over the axles, it's not the done thing. It's not the smartest decision. Just make sure, whichever way you choose to load your trailers in real life, do it safely. So there is a blocked road somewhere along here. Don't actually know where, but this is the preacher's house. Let me just unload those there. $5,000 we got for there, and I'm just going to detach the trailer there for a second, because yeah, there's boulders there, but just along here there's a Chevy, and I'm pretty sure that Chevy is ours. There's a lost trailer job there which is down there, and I believe that's a scout trailer, not something we're going to do in the ANK, but I'll get this all dealt with. Go back to the garage, do some fiddling about with the ANK and get it sold and things like that, and get it replaced, and I'll bring you guys back with the replacement. See you guys in a second. Okay guys, here we are. I told you it's a bit of a fib. We didn't actually sell the ANK, we just modified it, and here it is here. Similar to what it was, paint job and a few upgrades. I actually got a new engine in it that I didn't know I had. Some cosmetic upgrades, got the horns off the bun and things like that because I didn't like it. And you might notice there's another one next to us. It's different. That is another ANK, but the civilian specification one. And as you can see, I've set it up as a multi-use vehicle with that trailer. It is quite a long truck in that particular setup, but I think that will be somewhat useful to us. It can take 3 slots of cargo on that trailer, and it's got some fuel and parts, and both trucks have spare wheels as well, so that's absolutely fantastic. I also went for all-terrain tyres on the civilian one instead of the mud tyres, and as you can see, it's got a different DLC paint job, a very cool one, like a mining one, whereas this one seems to have a stormy, icy, lighthouse style paint job on it. But that is unfortunately where I'm going to leave it, so if you'd like to see these trucks in action, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, if you've enjoyed this video, you can also hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, you can also ring the bell icon as well, that way you get notified of these videos when they go live. You can also join me on Discord. The link to Discord is in the video description. It's also on the channel page as well, which is absolutely awesome. Well, more than welcome to head over to Discord and come and have a chat with me. And I'll be back tomorrow with more SnowRunner. Thank you all very kindly for watching, and I'll see you all there. Bye for now.